Hey guys, KK here. I'm an emotional healer who helps tough women to remove their angers through addictive cycles. Today, I'm going to be talking about a lot of things. I'm trying to see if I could get everything into one video. I'm going to be talking about boundaries. So, in a relationship, when something happens, we tend to think, hey, did we do something wrong? And focus on the problem or the fight, or sometimes like even like ourselves, or do we upset the other person, and we tend to keep saying, hey, it's probably my fault, I'm sorry, and sacrifice our own values and validating without validating ourselves. So what we have to do is first validate ourselves, see if we did it wrong. If not, then it's probably the other person. For example, this happened to me a few days ago. I was crossing a street. I saw a car that's coming on the right side of me, and she's want to turn. And well, this of course it's a busy street on the left hand side. Cars are coming over and over, and I was thinking to myself, maybe I should just walk faster, and maybe she can turn fast, turn to the right side faster, because I saw she have this anxiety and this like really rushing look on her face. She's like all tensed up. She want to like turn like real soon. So I'm like, maybe I should just run across the street, and maybe she can cross faster. So I sacrificed my own value and stopped myself from walking slow, and I rushed forward and crossed the street. But when I look back, and then she is still waiting for another 5 minutes. So sacrificing our own boundaries and our own values, sometimes it doesn't get to where we're supposed to, and it could just ruin what it's supposed to be, and it leads to a bad relationship, or a unbalanced relationship. So the conclusion I have with that is keep cultivating what little things that comes up, and eventually my mind will start to catch up and stop reacting to the things the ways I used to, what I programmed to. So I'm still learning little things about myself. That's why I want to share it with you guys. And in a relationship, don't be scared if the other person's mad at you when you guys have a little fight, because those are emotions. They will go away, right? So what you need to learn is stand in your own boundaries and set up that boundaries, and not to let go of those boundaries when somebody is trying to step across, not to lower your boundaries and set up one step backward, because every time you set up your boundaries one step backward and one step backward until very end, you have nowhere to let go. But you already set up that momentum for the other person. So the other person is stepping onto your boundaries over and over and over and over. They are so used to stepping onto your boundaries, but in the end, you have nowhere to go. So you have to fight back. When you fight back, you guys fought, and things is going to be ending in really nasty ways, because you say, hey, this is my last step. I'm not going to say no to this. And the other person is always keep thinking, oh, you're going to say sorry, because you've been saying sorry for the first, 60 times. So that's the thing. So when you notice these little things that you're supposed to give up your boundaries, make sure you be note to that, and hey, okay, I'm supposed to say no to that person, and even though they are the love of my life or your life, the most important is yourself. if you don't love yourself and you don't set up the boundaries, they are gonna leave for sure. Well, if they are like twins, that's a different story. They still live and come back. That's a different story though. So for us empath, try not to get attached to the emotions, because when you guys are fighting, you feel the energy, you feel what they want, but we sometimes very often forget what we want, what we wanted it to be balanced in that situation, what heart-mind balance is. So we have to just set our boundaries, wear garnet, make sure to wear garnet. It will help you set up your boundaries. It will help you to be more focused on your self-centers, because us empaths are not grounding enough, not often grounding ourselves enough. I'm a very channel person, but I'm not really grounded, so I have to keep wearing black tourmaline, obsidians, and garnet to help myself ground more, be more grounded, to stand in my ground more. There are times that I give up my boundaries way too many times and end up hurting myself. So I want to make sure to throw this message out for people who's out there giving up their boundaries for other people's happiness and making yourself unhappy most of the time. And well, once you give up one part of that boundary, I mean, you may not feel unhappy right at that moment, but when it backfires, when you're like alone, you're like, man, I shouldn't give up that boundary, I shouldn't give up that, then that will haunt you. So just put a note to that, and make sure not to fall right through, like do that every single time, and learn about your boundaries, how you set it up. Every person is different, so I'm just speaking on my own here. So, and once you start working on those boundaries, once you start setting up your boundaries, the universe is so amazing. It will keep sending you little tests to test what your boundary level is. It will send people around you, like your family, your partners, even your friend, will keep coming back to trigger you, so you can set up your boundaries and set it more grounded boundaries. So, for example, my twin contacted me last night. I was in temple, and I was like, okay, you want to talk? She's like, yeah, I want to talk. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be coming back in like half an hour. Once I got back, I call you. She's like, yeah, sure, good. I'm like, okay, awesome. So once I got back, that was like about 9:30-ish. I call her. She's like, I'm in the gym, I'm gonna call you back. I'm like, what? That's wasting my time? Come on. And then I wait for another half an hour. I'm like, okay, maybe that's almost time when she finished. So I call her. She didn't pick up. I'm like, fine, maybe she's busy. And then she called me around 10:30. 10:30. That's like almost 2 hours later. And she called me, and then she's like, hey. I'm like, hey. And then she's like, oh, I've got to call back to you in 2 minutes. I'm like, what? And I'm like so triggered. I'm like, what? My time doesn't value to you now? Like, you can step over me like nothing else? Come on, man. What the fuck is this? So, hey, whoever you're watching, I'm just talking about how I get triggered by my turn right now. So I'm like, oh my god, this thing is happening to me again. This is like boundary thing. This is like really annoying. Like, okay, so what happens? Like, I surrender and I let go. I try so hard to let go. Once I let go, that process of letting go, that anchor, that forgiveness, I let it go. She called me right back, like right at the second after I let go. I was like, what? I was like tearing down. I was like tears coming down. I was like, I let go. She came back. She called me right back. So I'm like, okay, man, I'm crying. She's like, why? I was like, yeah, because da 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 da. She's like, yeah, I'm sorry. Da 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 da. I'm like, okay, yeah. So that was the trigger, and so I mean, depending where your boundaries are, it does. Sometimes it might hurt you if you break those boundaries. It might not, depending where you stand. So, okay. So for the twins that's going through a twin separation right now, and some people been in the separation for a long while, I want to share this with you guys. We are the metals. We are the metals. It takes heat and fires to smelt us into steel. And this is the process for twins to become steels. So if you twins out there that's going through the same thing as I am, you guys have questions, you want to know how to do like surrender and let go, you want to say how to do mind heart balance, you could shoot me a private message. Hey King, what's up? For empath out there that's feeling everybody's energy and feeling like the world is going to end. For example, I was in this empath group. I posted a video and then it was instantly taken down. I was like, okay, I contact one of the admins. Hey King, what's up? How are you today? Enjoying the day? Today's raining. And so yeah, and then so my video was instant taking down. So I asked her why. She's like, yeah, it's like it doesn't make sense. So I'm like, she's an empath, right? I'm like, great. Let me just tap into her energy. So I tap into her energy. I'm like, whoa. It's like the world suddenly turned gray and black, and like there was storms everywhere, and there's like chaos. I was like, holy shit, what's happening? And then I'm like, I look, oh my gosh, she's like triggered. She's like triggered everywhere. Like she's like triggered by my video, everything. So the words she put out is like, there's like piercing knives. I'm like, okay, I feel so bad right at that moment. I'm like, okay, whoa, she's going through so much. I'm like, oh, there's like chaos tornado inside or something. I'm like affected by it. So I want to share this mantra with you guys. When you get affected by someone that it's going through like a shitstorm, you want to get out of that shitstorm and don't connect to that person. You say this mantra, Kuan Yin, the goddess of merciful and compassion. You say that for like 3 minutes max. And you just keep repeating that, Kuan Yin, the goddess of merciful and compassion. This has nothing to do with religions. This is spiritual. Because Kuan Yin is an ascension master, she's really merciful and compassion. When you say her name, she will come to you. Well, not the physical form, the spiritual form. She will come to you and she will hug you. And she will give you the love that you need, and she will calm your heart. In Cantonese, it's much easier for me to say it. I'm going to say it to you guys anyways. 大慈大悲觀世音菩薩. So I say that. I just keep repeating that for the next 3 minutes. And my heart feels calm. All other people's emotion is like out the